against MARTA'S 11. Here to the fans here at KSU Soccer Stadium, and that means that the kickoff is only moments away. Happy to have you along here on Fox along with Jen Hildreth. My name is Mark Rogandino as we get a look at some of the players getting ready to go out on the pitch here today. Let's look at the starting lineups. We begin with Abby's 11.
Well, they're going to line up in a very offensive-minded formation, as you might expect. A 3-5-2 for Abby and Paul Riley's team, and you notice a giant hole in the middle. We talked about this in the pregame show. I love that they're not even playing with a holding midfielder. Everybody's going to get up in the attack, and it should be a lot of fun to watch. A lot of U.S. presence there too, Mark.
Yes, absolutely. Abby making her second All-Star selection, and also making her second All-Star selection in WPS is Marta, the 24-year-old Brazilian. Let's have a look at her starting 11.
Well, we initially thought 3-4-3 for Marta and Albertine Montoya, but I got late word they might be switching to a 3-5-2, so we'll see how that all plays out. But you'll notice a big difference. A lot of attacking players for both teams, but they're calling themselves the United Nations because there are 7 different countries represented on Marta 11. And look at that front line up there. Marta, Christine Sinclair, Ramona Bachman from Atlanta. Should be a lot of fun to watch them play together.
And Marta's side also has a couple of other internationals in Alex Scott and Christy Ani to choose from to add a little bit of international flavor to the side. So those are your starting lineups for the two teams here today. Margaret Domka will be our referee to oversee this one, and she's joined by Amy Mahan and Patrick Baker, the two ARs. Felicia Mariscal is our fourth official for the 2010 WPS All-Star Game. That's right, get your cameras out. This is a brand new event, a brand new format, and a chance to see the best players on display here at KSU Soccer Stadium. Well, we've built up some anticipation for months now, Jen Hildreth, and now we're finally to the time to get to the kickoff. Any thoughts before we get this one going?
No, I'm excited to see it all come together. You know, it certainly is tough for teams. They've only had one day of training together, but with all that talent out on the field. You know, I remember last year's All-Star Game, I think it started a little bit slow. In fact, didn't Umeå go out in front?
2-0
They might have, yeah. And then the WPS All-Stars got it together, and we'll see how quickly these two teams can come together. It's kind of why I think Abby's 11 might have a bit of an edge, because 14 of those 17 players on the roster are current or former members of the U.S. national team, so they know each other very well.
Yeah, so chemistry-wise, if you think Abby's team has a slight advantage, but then when you turn over to Marta's side and you look at that, well, what we showed you in the lineup, a three-pronged attack with Marta, Sinclair, and Ramona Bachman, the rookie here in WPS. That's a pretty strong front line of players to have an opportunity to attack against Abby's three-pronged defense, I should add, in Lepelbit, Ellertson, and Whitehill. Teams taking their way out onto the field of play. Fans loving the environment here at KSU Soccer Stadium. All sorts of signage all over the place in support of all 34 players on hand here for this one. In fact, some fans still filing their way in. And there is Marta, the Golden Boot winner and the Michelle Akers MVP winner in 2009 as a member of the Los Angeles Soul. And now so far in 2010, she has 6 goals and an assist, leading the way for FC Gold Pride. There is the kick, and we are off and running here in the 2010 WPS All-Star Game on Fox. It is Marta's 11, attacking from right to left across your screen in those white jerseys, and I'd probably call those teal shorts and teal socks. While Abby's 11, green tops, white socks, they defend the goal to Jen and my left. And this is a look at Lauren Cheney. Unable to feed the ball there into Aluko. And off to the races, here goes Marta. She's got the step in behind. A chance to get on the board early, and that one goes wide of the near post of Hope Solo in the opening minute of play, and a lot of smiles so far. I'm not sure how long that will last, but the first chance goes to Marta's 11.
You could see, even with just 3 defenders, they were all pushed up really high on that play. All of a sudden, it was Marta heading in toward Hope Solo. Amy Lepelbit there in the middle trying to track back. Marta just missing the target.
Back the other way through Shannon Box. Now Lori Lindsay. Those two spend some time playing under Pia Sundhage for the U.S. national team in the central midfield, so I would imagine their chemistry will be good. This is Aya Miyama on the ball. Loose ball picked up by Cheney. Box now. trying to spray it out wide as Heather O'Reilly was waiting at the edge of the area, and picked up by Erin McLeod,
who we should note was a late addition to the starting lineup. Initially started as a reserve, but Karen Bardsley injured in training yesterday, so McLeod getting the start.
Now Sinclair back the other way for MARTA'S side. Support there from Brittany Taylor, the rookie out of the University of Connecticut. Sinclair looking central. First touch from Marta pops up, headed away there by Kat Whitehill. Still alive though, just at the edge of the area. And the offside flag comes up on the far side, and the whistle will give Abby's 11 a free kick.
And don't you think, Mark, it's got to be tough to be a goalkeeper in a game like this, because nobody really has a preferred team so much that they're rooting for. You pretty much, people come here, they want to see exciting play and they want to see goals. So if you're the goalkeeper, you're kind of the bad guy, you and the defenders.
Well, but I think we could speak for both, or all four of the goalkeepers, as this chance is headed away by Abby's defense. You know, both of them don't want to see a big number put up on the board. Right. So if any players will stay very, very intense, it's going to be Hope at one end and Erin McLeod at the other end for now. Deflected out for a corner.
Yeah, I think at the Pick'em event on Monday, the prediction from Albertine Montoya was something like 8-6 in favor of MARTA'S team. And Paul Riley came back and said, no, I think it's going to be 7-5 our team. And I looked at the goalkeeper and said, you guys down with that? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned 8-6 and Albertine Montoya, because that was the score of the media game they put on here earlier today, and Albertine was on the losing side.
And how about you?
I was on the winning side.
And did you score some goals?
Maybe put a couple in the net. It was probably much better than my goalkeeping we showed in our pregame show.
Hey, you were brave to get in there. I stayed away. I just did the interviews.
Good turn in the midfield there from Lily. Sprays it out onto the left side. Here's Ramona Bachmann. Exciting player from Switzerland, just a teenager. Lofted in for the backside, and an easy grab there for Hope Solo.
You know she loves to start the attack. She'd like nothing better than to get a big old assist in this game. The reach though of Eniola.
Rachel Buell. Long ball. Defensive roll. Run onto this one here. Aluko turning the corner against Allison Falk and deflected out. And Abby's 11 will have their own corner now.
I think we all have a pretty good idea who might be the target on this corner. Captain of Abby's team. Aluko with the speed, getting back in behind the defense. Creating a corner.
One of several players we'll see on hand here tonight, who opened the season with the St. Louis Athletica, but has now become a member of the Atlanta Beat. Kat Whitehill steps up to take the first corner of the game here for Abby's 11. Low ball driven in toward the penalty spot. Sinclair actually is the player that comes in to push it away. Kolupny trying to keep it alive, and she does with a little touch for Whitehill. But her first time ball finds the gloves of Erin McLeod. Turnover. Abby steps to it for her team. Finds an open space, heading to the top of the 18, lets it go! Just wide.
Turnovers are always dangerous, but especially with this many dangerous attacking players surrounding the ball at all times. And I think you're going to often see, you saw Bonpastor did hit the ground there, but I think in this game, nobody wants to get hurt. They're all very competitive, but I think you wouldn't see defenders go maybe quite as hard into a tackle or trying to take the ball away as they would in a regular match. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I was going to say, that's a little bit up in the air. We'll have to wait and see, because I think speaking for a player like Tina Ellerton, she never gives up on a ball, so we'll see what she does here. Right side, this is Rachel Bueller. Back and forth so far here in the opening minutes at KSU Soccer Stadium. Marta, a chance to open the scoring, 1-0.
And that's where you see the numbers game paying off for the attackers. Boy, there was nobody around Marta, and that's not necessarily Amy LaPelvet's fault. She can't cover more than one player at a time. Nobody recovers back, and Marta puts one in the back of the net to get things started.
7 minutes into the game, and Marta's 11 already opening the scoring here. Of course, one of the captains was going to be the first to get on the scoreboard.
All right, Abby, your turn.
Yeah.
She nearly had one a few minutes ago.
Here's LePelbit looking for Lori Lindsay. Under some pressure there from Bon Pastor. Those two used to be teammates with the Washington Freedom in 2009. Now Sinclair. Marta's 11 on the gas pedal here in the early going. Marta dancing on the ball, gets to the end line, 2-0.
Ooh, now Hope Solo is going to remember that one, because the first goal, well placed by Marta, wide open in the box, not much you could do. This one, she sneaks it in near post. Hope leaving that window open, and Marta puts the ball right on through. Nice little bit of dancing beforehand, keeping the fans happy. 2-0 in favor of Marta's 11.
Literally almost a minute exactly from opening the scoring. Marta comes right back to tally the brace here in the opening minutes of this one. And Abby's 11 best get themselves organized, or it could get lopsided in a hurry. Battle of two of the more physical players in the league there as Abby and Allison Falk go after it. And here comes Kelly Smith. Wide for Bachman. In tow there with Marta. Bachman puts it onto her right foot, pulls the trigger, but it goes well wide of Hope Solo. And maybe a chance for Abby's 11 to exhale for a moment.
Bachman, just 19 years old, the youngest player in WPS, certainly the youngest All-Star. And a tribute to the style of play she has, that she was voted onto this All-Star team. Doesn't have a lot of numbers to show for the season so far, with just one goal for the Atlanta Beat. But that type of play you just saw, a bit indicative both ways. Great movement on the ball, but not a great finish of her season so far.
Right back at the other end, Aluko trying to feed it into some space for Lauren Cheney, who was making the overlapping run. And the turnover as Marta's 11 will look to counter. Already up 2-0 through 2 goals from their captain, the 24-year-old Brazilian. Ellerson standing up Marta.
Playing around a little bit. Marta's certainly having some fun.
Sinclair. And Ellerson will clear, not quite out of danger as Lori Lindsay tries to bring it down. Bachman. Miyama a little touch toward the corner. And teammates Amy LePelbit and Kelly Smith race after it. Bad ball, a little heavy on the touch there from Heather O'Reilly. And Allison Falk slows things down here for Marta's 11 as we're 10 minutes and change into the first half action. Walton Taylor, the 22-year-old, played for Sky Blue FC in her rookie season here in WPS, rounding out the back three. Interesting that both teams are actually playing with just 3 in the back. That also gives you further evidence that this one is offensive-minded here in the 2010 WPS All-Star Game. Well, All-Star games, no matter what sport you're talking about, Jen, it's always a little bit about showing some skill and, for now, dancing on the ball.
Marta trying to get Tina Ellerson to bite. Tina holding her ground, not falling for any of it. A little smile afterward from Tina, too, who, by the way, has come up with some absolutely huge goals for the Atlanta Beat. She just has a couple of games in a Beat uniform. That's Tina Ellerson. Had 2 big goals off of headers, one for the Beat's first ever win, one for a tie late in the game.
Second time in her career in WPS that she has been selected as a starter. And just to follow what you said, we know that she can always do it defensively, but all of a sudden she's turned into a goal scorer. I think her and Allison Falk, the only 2 defenders in WPS that have more than a goal. O'Reilly Chips it in for Aluko. Falk is there to head it away. Second chance ball not alive here for Abby's 11. Bueller sends it back for Aaron McLeod. The 27-year-old Washington Freedom keeper comes in with 2 shutouts and a 1.22 goals against so far in 2010.
Atlanta Beat fans, make sure you drop by the Beat sales tent on the stadium stage to register for the Cooper Atlanta halftime promotional kit with a chance to win a free
Miyama threw into the feet of Bachman. Puts it on to the English international Kelly Smith. So far the international flair is winning out here in the early going. Marta sprays it wide. Bachman will have a chance to run it down just before the sideline. Service into the area and headed just over the bar by Marta.
For all that Marta does, you don't often see her get up for a lot of headers like that, but she gets some air here on this cross from Bachman. Well done to get up and even direct that down a little bit. She didn't get it quite enough.
And Kat Whitehill was caught between a rock and a hard place there. Marta being the rock and the hard place. The back post run there from Christine Sinclair. A look at the bench here as we look at Abby's 11.
Tasha Kai, Laura Kalmari on the bench there. Angie Kerr, Kelly O'Hara, local product from Atlanta area here. A lot of attacking players on that bench for Abby's 11, and remember that because that's a big difference between these two teams. Certainly not as much on the bench in terms of attacking players for Marta.
Aluko tripped up for a moment there by Falk. No whistle though, as Abby's 11 play on. Box leaves it for O'Reilly, playing it in for Abby inside the area, headed across looking for Cheney. Still alive though here. Lori Lindsay will send it out wide. Kat Whitehill with plenty of time and space on the ball. As Christine Lilly, the veteran, will close that space. Kolupny now, looking to drive it into the heart of the area. And now the pressure on the back three defensively here for Marta's 11 as that one lands in the gloves of Aaron McLeod.
It's an interesting contrast between the attacking players in the front line for each of these two teams. Abby's 11 is playing with just 2 up top, so they did switch to that 3-5-2 with just Abby Wambach and Eniola Aluko up top. And those are 2 very different players from the 3 running on the other side for Marta's team, with Marta and then Bachman often getting up into that front line along with Christine Sinclair and Kelly Smith. Bachman and Marta both really love facing up and dribbling at people. We'll see what Aluko can do in a similar situation.
Yeah, Aluko knows how to dribble at players as well. 4 goals in 2010 so far. Speaking of dribbling at players, O'Reilly going right at Bonpastor. Step over to try and get to the end line. And cleared away by the French international Sonia Bonpastor.
Isn't that move that Heather showed us the other day?
That might have been it right there.
I think that was it.
The quick step over and try and push it into space. Cheney. And she turned the corner there, and Brittany Taylor instead pulls it back. Had Abby inside the area, but it's cleared away by Marta's 11.
That turn is what Lauren Cheney does so well.
And she's done it since her days at UCLA and now doing it up front for the Boston Breakers. Miyama, quick ball into the feet of Kelly Smith. Fans yelling for the ball to get to Marta's feet, and Kelly Smith obliges.
To place your
For once, Marta doesn't hit the ball she probably wanted to, but nonetheless her side is in front. And look at the bench there for Marta's 11.
There certainly are some attacking players on there. You have to look at Amy Rodriguez, tied with Marta for the league lead in goals. But as you look down the rest of that list, Christiani also an attacking player. A lot of defenders there who could come in. So we'll see as this game progresses how things might change as the subs come in, because you think we certainly will expect to see them all.
Yes, unlimited substitutions for both sides, as you would expect in an all-star game.
Another nice turn from Cheney there.
O'Reilly, this time going at Bachman. Cheney into the space, flag comes up though against Aluko.
Oh, Aluko thought she'd held that line, but just at the last second perhaps. Defender stepping up and getting her off. Yeah, clearly in an offside position there. So good work by the defense for MARTA'S 11.
About a yard and a half offside on the run there. Aluko has now played in 4 games. Excuse me, two goals so far with Ellerton steps in to win it.
Need to move around town, around the country.
Here's Aluko. The double team comes over very quick.
And helping you out there, partner. 2 games for Atlanta for Aluko. She does have all 4 of her goals came when she was playing with St. Louis. So has yet to find the back of the net as a member of the beat.
Which is a little bit surprising.
I know. Yeah, Ellerton's got her beat there with the 2 goals so far since her arrival.
Cheney, little stop and go, then fires it in. Abby with the player.
Somebody needs to step onto that ball. Pretty ball sent across on the ground by Cheney. Perhaps Abby thinking it might come in the air, whereas she is so strong.
Kalupny in for Cheney. Good first touch to the back post for Aluko. Not sure if that was half cross, half shot. Either way, it rolls out for a goal kick.
I think Cheney tried to finesse it a little bit, maybe try to go for that far post herself. Knowing where the defenders were, knowing she had McLeod out. No, I think she was trying to go for Aluko. Couldn't quite get it there, though. Lauren, one of the players made to feel the heat a little bit at the Pick'em event. She and Ramona Bachman, the last 2 players. But to be fair, pretty sure there were a lot of conversations going on between the 2 teams before the event, since it went goalkeeper, defenders, they went all out, midfielders, they went all out, and then they did forwards. So I'm thinking there was a bit of a plan there. And then the fact that they left 2 rookies at the end, well, you know, you're rookies, you have to deal with some things like that.
Yeah, I mean, smart. They got to get a season under their belt before they can get the luxury of being one of those early picks. Kalupny from long distance. We are just short of 20 minutes gone here in the 2010 WPS All-Star Game, and this is how it's gone down so far. MARTA leading the way as her team's in front 2-0.
The first one certainly well earned. The second one sneaking in that near post. Nonetheless, 2 goals for MARTA and her club.
Almost as if Abby's 11 were a little off balance to start the match. Things have settled down a little bit here as those goals came in the 7th and 8th minute of play.
And to be fair, where both of these teams are going to be off balance is on that back line. I mean, only playing 3 defenders against this many attacking players, you're going to be out of balance. Just a matter of MARTA's team putting on the attack first.
Teams will be sticking around to sign autographs for fans at the east, south,
headed away.
of the stadium. Players will come to the fenced area around the field.
Pastor tries to slip it in the corner here for Christine Lilly. And the back post ball is headed away by Kat Whitehill.
Kat was funny at the Pick'em event. After all the picks were selected, there were rumors of a trade. Albertine Montoya and MARTA perhaps laying one on the table to see if Abby and Paul Riley would bite. And Kat Whitehill yelled out to Abby, "If you trade me, I'm never sending you another free kick ball again." So apparently it worked. There was no trade. There was a lot of intimidation there.
Yeah, we should add, actually, there was no trades, period. I think there was another trade discussed about maybe Kelly O'Hara and Amy Rodriguez. But the story I was told is, why would you want to put Kelly O'Hara back with MARTA and Christine Sinclair to give them even more time to become dangerous in the FC Gold Pride lineup? Kalupny has found some space here for Abby's 11 on the left side. O'Reilly for box. Flag is up, though, against the veteran.
Shannon Bach celebrating a birthday yesterday, her 33rd. Hope she doesn't mind me saying that.
Happy belated, Shannon.
Bachman and Heather O'Reilly getting into it a little bit.
But I was just thinking, that's the first time we've heard a whistle in a long time.
Yeah. We'll see. That's what I meant. And certainly defenders are playing hard. I think Allison Falk has proven she's ready to play hard in the back. We've seen her in a couple of tough tackles. I don't think anybody's going to give up. I just think they might not dive into a body as much as we see sometimes.
I completely get it. I completely get it. McLeod off her line. Slips through. Ellertson had a chance on the back post.
Oh, McLeod just missing that one.
And I think she knows it.
Yeah, she certainly does. See what happens. I mean, she just completely misses this ball as it gets a nice little bend on. Oh, she gets bumped at the end. Got a little bump from Christine Sinclair, but still took her eyes off the ball and got lucky not to have given one up there.
Erin McLeod lists Iker Casillas, the Spanish international goalkeeper, as her favorite player to watch. I think she picked a pretty good one there. Obviously, Spain doing quite well in the World Cup so far.
My pick to win, in case you want to know. Well, you're a Netherlands guy, right? Is that who you're picking?
Yes, I am. Oh, we've got some great matches coming up in the quarterfinals. 2-0 here. Marta's side in front after a couple of goals from their captain in the early going. Flag stays down here for Aluko. Puts it into the back post. There was contact between Bueller and Abby Wambach.
I think Bueller, maybe she's just mad because she's one of the only U.S. national team starters who went on the other team. Maybe just getting Abby back a little bit right there. Thought Aluko lucky not to get the flag raised on her too, because Cheney held that ball a little long. I was just about to say she needs to release it a little sooner because Aluko's making those runs.
Kelly Smith on the ball now here. Little 1-2 with Marta. Good return pass from Marta. Just a step or two out of the reach of Kelly Smith. As we're just past the halfway point of this opening 45 minutes here at KSU Soccer Stadium. Hope you're enjoying the action so far here on Fox, the 2010 WPS All-Star Game. Ellertson wins the battle that time as she steps in to take it back here for Abby's 11. Possession doesn't last long though.
Yeah, rare miss from Abby there. Giving up possession in the center of the field. Marta's 11 trying to take advantage. They cannot. Marta and her FC Gold Pride teammates are all here actually in Atlanta as they will play the Atlanta Beat on Saturday.
Yeah, and actually with the injury to Karen Bardsley, it was almost, not that Nicole Barnhart doesn't deserve the selection, but a fortunate set of circumstances that she got a chance to come right in. McLeod pulls this one in, and we might see Barnhart in the second half in place of McLeod.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think Nicole Barnhart deserved to be here, period. She's been having a great season for FC Gold Pride. Heading into their last match, was the league leader in goals against average, then gave up 2 against Sky Blue FC in the loss we had on
The Atlanta Beat would like to wish
Sunday on FSC.
I mean, now with the caliber of teams in women's professional soccer, it is tough to pick the best goalkeeper, the 2 best goalkeepers in the league.
All the details and trimmings, so you can enjoy the party too.
No doubt about that. Hope Solo, I think everybody would immediately put at the top of their list, but she would be the first to admit her season hasn't been that great. First with St. Louis, and now she's had a couple of games with Atlanta.
Kat Whitehill leading the break here for Abby's 11, supporting Lauren Cheney, but instead goes the other direction, looking for Eniola Aluko.
You see Sonia Bonpastor moved into that holding midfield role for Marta's 11. She was initially slated to start on the outside at left mid. So Albertine Montoya perhaps throwing a little bit more defensive security back there than Paul Riley's team.
Well, it seemed to work out so far here in almost 26 minutes for Albertine Montoya and Marta's 11. Taylor keeps it in. Help from Lily as the ball comes back inside here for Bonpastor. Sliding it out wide, and a chance for Brittany Taylor to join in the attack. Good cut back onto the right foot, serves it in, and cleared away by Kat Whitehill.
Kat, a 2-time All-Star, also starting in the All-Star game last year for WPS.
here as the ball finds the feet of Shannon Box. Lori Lindsay. Good move there to get past Ramona Bachman, and now she finds a little bit of space. Sends it out wide, but too heavy there for Lori Cullup.
Great bit of work with the ball, though, by Lori Lindsay to give herself some space. Just weighted the pass a little too heavy.
Well, as you might expect, here in the WPS 2010 All-Star Game, we're allowed to do a couple of things we might not normally do in the course of WPS Sunday matches, and pleased to have Paul Riley on the headset there for the Abby's 11. Paul, your thoughts so far? Marta's 11 certainly got out to a quick start there, didn't they?
Well, I was actually going to trip Marta up on the second goal. She was running down this left flank, I think of putting the left leg out and trying to trip her up, but yeah, so far, first 10 minutes she was unstoppable though. Now, and I think if we can get the next one, then hopefully we'll get back in the game a little bit. We seem to get a bit more possession in the last 5 or 10 minutes. So, but they can see the overload on the outside with Bachman and bomb past her, and it's right in front of us. So there's plenty of options for them on this flank over here. I just hope they don't see them. But so far, I think we need a couple of taxi cabs for our midfield to get back, and I think we'll be all right. Hopefully, as the game goes on.
Any thought of shifting any of those midfielders back to sort of front of the defense a little bit, help them out?
Absolutely not, Jim.
I thought that might be your answer.
No, I'm hoping Shannon, obviously Kennesaw causing some problems in the attacking midfield. And Laura Lindsay, one of them will sit on it, but I think they're enjoying themselves so much going forward that neither one really want to hang back. So they're leaving a big job for Kat, Tina, and Lapel in the back, you know. But I think we'll be all right as the game goes on. Hopefully we'll get one and get ourselves back in it. And I'm hoping Marta goes to get a cup of coffee in 5 or 10 minutes so we can get back in the game, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, the rest of the fans on here at KSU Soccer Stadium are not hoping for that. They keep calling for her to get the ball. Paul, we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes, and we'll see how your team does in about the last 15, 16 minutes of this first half.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mo.
That is Paul Riley, the coach of Abby's 11. He's also the head coach of the Philadelphia Independents and has guided them to the top of the table, just 1 point behind FC Gold Pride right now in the standings. There's Lapel, but sends this one back for her goalkeeper, Hope Solo.
Really a tremendous job by Paul Riley there at Philadelphia. The two expansion teams, Philadelphia and Atlanta, not sure quite what to expect. Atlanta certainly had a rocky start. Went quite a few matches without getting a win, and the Philadelphia Independents just the opposite, kind of relying on a lot of veterans and some tough, gritty play, and as you said, Mark, now 1 point off the lead.
Well, it's interesting because when I was talking to Paul briefly last night, he said coming into the season, we really didn't know what we had. I mean, I think a lot of people, maybe including myself, were curious to why he would trade away that pick, the top picks up there, and go after Amy Rodriguez, but he felt that, and he was correct, that she could make an immediate impact with Philadelphia. Amy, along with the rest of her Independence teammates, I mean, they have just clicked from the get-go.
And she, in particular, has really come into her own lately. Can't wait to see her get on the field for Marta's 11 a little later as Marta opens up some space for Ramona Bachman.
Bachman will cut it back on her right foot, deflected on the shot, and it'll be a corner here for Marta's 11. It'll be their second.
Bachman trying to cut it back and was able to do so, but Lapel bit sticking out that leg just enough.
And I've game a couple of times, but just pick your poison if you're the defenders right now out on the pitch. Marta bending this one into the heart of the area, headed away by Abby as she comes back to help out defensively. Still alive though. Lily leaves it there for Falk. Save from Solo. The follow-up rebound is in the back of the net. Christine Sinclair on the board.
Solo did very well to stop the initial shot. And then Christine Sinclair, all too happy to be the garbage man and put this one away off the rebound. Initial shot by Falk, good reacts by Hope, gives up the rebound. Marking Christine Sinclair. I was kind of waiting for her to break out the chicken dance again or start pretending to knock out some people. She's had some pretty good goal celebrations. Come on, Christine.
Yes.
Don't let us down. It's All-Star Game. Somebody get a wire to her down there and tell her to break out the chicken dance again.
I'm sure if she comes out, we'll try and get her, and we'll ask about that exactly. Actually, for Sinclair, she had 2 goals in the 2009 WPS All-Star Game. That was a 4-2 win for the All-Stars against Umeå from Sweden.
Game on sports.
Bachman dribbling into a group of green jerseys, decides to retreat back into the feet of Bon Pastor, and now Marta will get on the ball.
Bring your ball.
Big switch, nobody home out wide. She was looking for that run up the right side from Rachel Bueller.
And just as Paul Riley told us a moment ago that everybody wants to get up and get in the attack, you could see that for MARTA'S 11 as it was the central defender, Allison Falk, who took the initial shot.
Teammate versus teammate. Heather O'Reilly, Brittany Taylor both play for Sky Blue, laying it in for Abby Wambach. 1 versus 1 against Bueller, looking central. Halfway in between Cheney and Aluko, though, and the clearance from MARTA'S defense. Big switch as LaPelbit makes the run forward. Has support in O'Reilly. Through for Aluko. Flag stays down, but McLeod quick off her line.
That ball just a little too heavy for Aluko. Great idea by Heather O'Reilly to keep that ball pinging around quickly, not letting it stop. Trying to catch the defenders off guard, which she did, but just sent it a little too far ahead of Aluko.
A lot of half chances for Abby's 11, but some good chances for MARTA'S 11, including 3 times finding the back of the net past Hope Solo.
It's time to announce the Cooper Atlanta halftime promotion.
Whitehill for Box, back inside for Kolupny.
Please report to the yellow.
Miyama picks it off now here for MARTA'S side. Sinclair, who had the last goal for MARTA'S 11 on the attack, running right at Ellertson, and a good poke tackle there from Tina.
Ellertson's really done well at holding her ground when she's needed to and not falling for any of the little fakes or flair coming her way.
Falk just looking for some safety there. She plays it out for a throw for Abby's 11. Kolupny quickly now on the attack here. Abby's 11 in the green tops. Wambach swinging it into the backside. O'Reilly is there. Maybe a slight touch from McLeod. O'Reilly looking for a whistle as Bachman was defending there.
Hey, what's it like to, O'Reilly maybe hoping a whistle might get blown, PK? What's it like to defend a PK from Heather O'Reilly? You got that yesterday.
I wouldn't know. All I did was pick the ball out of the back of the net.
You guessed right, though. That was the big thing.
The key word there was guess.
Yeah.
Laurie Lindsay finds some space central now here. Shifts it through from Wambach. Quickly onto the feet of Shannon Box. O'Reilly asking for it back. Wide spot here. Good first touch to put it out in front. Bending it in toward the back post. Abby attacking! Save for
Gorgeous goal there. That was just spectacular. Look at this ball bent in by Heather O'Reilly. Abby does what she does. Great reaction save from Erin McLeod, but she gives up the rebound. It hurt Hope Solo on the other end. It hurts her on this end as Aluko brings it down. That's a tough ball, too. Really kind of kicked up on her there, but she does well to put it away. Oh, and what a strike by Abby, too.
I don't know that you could name any player. Also, you could talk about it on the men's side that attacks the ball in the air the way that Abby Wambach does.
I mean, she is so tough to defend. There are few that are as tall and as physical as she is in the air. And she doesn't just get up, Mark. She directs that ball when she gets up there with power.
Yeah, certainly the cream of the crop when it comes to the women's game, but I think you can argue on her playing field, which here is at KSU Soccer Stadium tonight. You can also find her playing for the Washington Freedom there at the Maryland Soccerplex. She just attacks the ball like no other. One more look at her. Look on the ISO cam here.
And that's a U.S. national team defender, Rachel Bueller, right on her. And Abby just stays focused on the ball and drives it right at the goal.
So after 3 goals to open the scoring for MARTA'S 11, Abby's 11 responds. Eniola Aluko's goal.
Visit the tent for more information.
It's interesting that goal being scored, very much one of power off the initial header by Abby Wambach. And Alex Scott had tweeted earlier, she's a reserve for MARTA'S team, that this is a flair versus power kind of game, perhaps, with the United Nations versus the U.S.
Well, so far it's the United Nations getting the better. Reminder for you, a doubleheader on tap for MLS Saturday on Fox Soccer Channel. In high definition, it begins with the Columbus Crew playing host to the Chicago Fire. That one goes at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 4:30 out on the West Coast. And part of a nice doubleheader of MLS action on FSC. Little less than 10 minutes left. All the soccer heads are out for this one here in the Atlanta area. In fact, at our hotel, plenty of out-of-town fans coming in as well to catch the match. Looks like we got some Freedom fans over there taking it in. Allison Falk, good positioning to send it back for Aaron McLeod. Foot race to get to this one. Ellertson just trying to get goal side as Marta gets on the ball. Right at the top of the 18, the double team worked beautifully there as Kat Whitehill helped poke it away. Christine Lilly, though, keeps it alive now for Marta's 11. Miyama. Bon Pastor, Sinclair, good touches here. Little slip ball through there. Bachman the chance, but the flag was up.
Yeah, the defenders all stepped up, and Bachman was still waiting for that ball to come through, didn't step with them.
Well, that's got to be another one of the difficult aspects of being a defender in this game is communication-wise. Who is the leader? Because you've got 3 leaders at the back for both teams.
Well, I think it helped in that instance that both were pretty much just stepping up to try to get the ball. I don't know that it was necessarily planned as a trap, but it worked that way nonetheless.
O'Reilly, right between the legs there of Bachman.
Well, those two have kind of gotten a little chippy on the sideline. Heather letting her know she didn't appreciate the feet coming in late.
Hard tackle there from the 19-year-old. She didn't probably enjoy that.
Oh, no. A little frustration, no question afterward. O'Reilly trying to make her look silly, and did with that ball through the legs.
Kat Whitehill asking for the allotted 10 yards of space with the one-person wall from Sonia Bonpastor. Whitehill drives it to the back post. Abby is there, but so is Allison Falk to head it clear. Kolupny. Big switch. Headed all the way across. Box winds up to look at it. O'Reilly will give it her own shot and hits it wide of the near post.
Box getting not a good look at it, really. Defender right in her face, and Heather O'Reilly trying to power one home.
O'Reilly, now a 2-time All-Star here in WPS. Also had the game lone goal in the final that had Sky Blue FC crowned the first ever women's professional soccer champions. This is Bachman. Back onto her left foot. Good skill here. Leaves it. Far side ball. It'll go just wide. Marta looking for the hat trick here in the first half.
Bachman can make people look silly herself. She's got some great moves with the ball at her feet. In fact, I don't think she expected Sonia Bonpastor to be there for that ball. I think she was kind of going for it for herself.
You may remember, probably about a month ago, Sonia Bonpastor had that collision with, right here actually, in front of us here at KSU Soccer Stadium with McCall Zerboni. Had a chance to catch up with Sonia earlier yesterday and take a look at that scar. She said, I think it was something like 21, 22 stitches she ended up having to have. But you remember, she came back into the game, played with that head wrap, delivered an assist to Abby in the Freedoms win that day. She was very modest about the scar.
She's modest about everything. She's really such a sweet person off the field. Tough player on the field, no doubt, but really one of the nicest people I think I've met in WPS.
Ticket office at 678-298-4780.
Cheney. Good run inside from Wambach, but the ball comes outside for O'Reilly. Sends it in. Chance at the back post. McLeod came out, but I don't think she got any sort of touch on it. Box will keep it alive here for Abby's 11. They'd love to get one more before the break. Just wide on the chance there from the captain, Abby Wambach.
McLeod has seemed very tentative and unsure of herself
Agreed.
in the air. I don't know if it was maybe that first one where she got knocked off and missed a little bit, but ever since then, she hesitates here, is going for it and goes back. She's not confident in her decisions.
Marta kicks it into a different gear and runs right by Kolupny. Looking central. Ellerson stepping in so the ball couldn't find the feet of Kelly Smith. Chance to counter back the other way now. Shannon Box for Lori Lindsay. O'Reilly slows things up as she plays it back here for Amy LaPelvic. Long switch to the far side. Will this one stay in here for Kolupny? It will. Tries to touch it into the space past Bueller. Lily.
Attention big fans, are you in? Season ticket package with 3-game mini plans to 2010 WPS season are still available. Stop by the Atlantic.
Out here for Bachman, running right at Amy LaPelvic and Abby's defense. Couple of step overs, still dancing on it. And that will go just wide of Hope Solo and Abby's 11 goal.
Ramona's got to do a better job of, once she makes her move, getting that ball back on target. Her momentum is all taking her to the right. She's got to turn her body more to get that ball going back against her momentum and back on frame.
Attention, if you're participating in the halftime games, please report to the stage immediately.
Bachman, after getting that early goal in the season for Atlanta, has been held in check so far since that time. And that's a player that, in addition to the players that came over from St. Louis, Atlanta, if they're going to make a run for a playoff spot, they're going to need Ramona Bachman to contribute.
And I know she has some stretches. She's going to continue to be away on international duty as well. So when certainly going to need to make the most of her talents and her time.
Taking our way into the 45th minute of play, and we've received word minimum 1 minute of stoppage time. Miyama heads that one away. Kat Whitehill sitting there though to collect it for Abby's 11. Numbers inside the area now for the team in green. Slipping inside for Cheney, trying to sell it and open the hip to get a shot onto her right foot. Box leaves it for Whitehill, who sends it in toward Aluko. Is there one more chance in the cards here before we hit the halftime break?
Fans want to get closer to the game.
Bachman under pressure defensively from Lori Lindsay. Taylor, good outlet pass to find Marta.
Just $25. Visit the ticket office at halftime and you'll be on your way to the field.
Ellerson.
Freestylers, Jason and Eric perform.
Now all the way back here for Hope Solo as we tick in to stoppage time. I can't imagine if you're a coach for either side what you tell your team at halftime. I mean, it is an all-star game, right?
Keep on attacking. Keep on keeping on. I'm sure Paul Riley will have something to say about that overload that he talked to us about on his left side of the field, the way that Marta's been attacking down. Marta and Bachman both been very active. Should have some minimal shifts.
Yes.
Minimum of 1 minute additional time.
Cheney just across the top of the 18, floating it onto the back post and out for a goal kick now here for Erin McLeod, and that should just about do it. Reminder, we will have WPS Commissioner Tanya Antonucci joining us for a couple of moments during halftime. There's Paul Riley, who will take his team what looks to be down 3-1 at the break heading into halftime. And if you missed any of this opening 45 minutes, we'll also bring you highlights from the first half here in Kennesaw, Georgia. There's the whistle from Margaret Domka, and it's 3-1 Marta's 11 heading into the break.
Well, yeah, Abby's 11. Hey, the gauntlet's been laid down. The Flair has won out over the Power thus far. Let's see what the second half and perhaps some substitutions might bring.
Flair versus Power, chemistry versus maybe international athleticism.
Sure.
However you want to describe it, it is Marta's 11 in front. 3-1. There's been plenty of emotion, plenty of smiles, and actually plenty of goals. 3-1 with Marta's 11 in front at the break. You're watching the 2010 WPS All-Star Game on Fox.